Good afternoon. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can.
Oh, okay.
We are recording, Ed.
Okay. Give it a couple more minutes. I think let's see. I think we might be missing one or two members, so give it a couple minutes before we can get a quorum. One, two, four. We got five. Let's see if we can get one more. One, two. Five. Let's see what we're missing. Deborah, James, Jordan, Patrick is here, so we got Kim is here, Ed James, Lisa, Ben is here, and James is here.
Mr. Chairman, this is Deborah. I'm here.
Okay, then we do have a quorum. Like to call the meeting to order on June the 9th, 2025 at 4:02. Okay. Izzy, would you like to call the roll, please?
Yes. Miss Carter?
Here.
Miss Sella?
Here.
Mr. Cotter? Mr. James?
Here.
Miss Rollins?
Here.
Mr. Samuels?
I'm here.
Sorry. Miss Sanders? Mr. Neely?
Here.
Mr. McKelvey?
Present.
Okay. All others in attendance, would you introduce yourself and your affiliations, please?
Brad Kelly with the St. Louis County Police Department.
Okay.
Paul Hampel from St. Louis County. Good to see everyone today.
How are you doing?
Great, thanks.
Public Works Transportation.
Yeah, this is Adam Spector.
I'm sorry.
So this is Adam Spector with the St. Louis County Department of Transportation, and I believe Joe Colessa is going to be joining us momentarily.
All right, thank you. St. Louis County Counselor.
Associate County Counselor Portia Britt.
Okay. All right, we had somebody. Okay. Bi-State Development Agency.
Okay, well, I'll start out for Bi-State. I'm Chuck Stewart, and I am the retiring Chief Operating Officer, EVP. So we have a few new faces with us today, and certainly a few new titles as well. So I will start out, I will introduce my replacement, Ron Forrest, and I'll give him more time to introduce himself later, give you some background when we get into our Bi-State report, but say hi, Ron.
Hi, how you guys doing? Thanks for having me.
Welcome aboard.
Thank you. I'm looking forward to the conversation.
All right, so let's get the rest of the team. Tom,
Tom Curran, I'm Executive Vice President of Administration for Bi-State.
Kevin,
Hello, everybody. Kevin Scott. I am Executive Vice President for Security and Marketing and Communications.
hey, Missy,
Good evening. My name is Melissa Webb. I'm the Director of Communications.
and Vicky.
Hi, I'm Victoria Potter. I'm the Controller of Bi-State Development, and I am sitting in for Tammy Fulbright.
All right, so that's our team. Did I say that Talby's not on because he's on vacation? If I didn't, Talby's not on because he's on vacation. But we'll be able to handle that. So, thank you, sir.
Thank you. Okay, let's start with the approval of the minutes from the May the 10th meeting,
So moved. And May the 12th?
May 12th, I'm sorry.
So moved.
Do I have a second? Been moved second. All those in favor? Indicate by aye.
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 Motion passed. Okay, thank you. Okay, reports. St. Louis County departments. County Council? No report? Okay. Department of Transportation, Public Works?
I have nothing to report this time, I don't think, unless Joe, did you have something, or Joe, are you there?
Okay.
Okay, yeah. I don't have anything, but I reserve in case Joe comes back with something.
All right, thank you. Okay, County Police Department.
Good afternoon. No, I have nothing to pass along. Hopefully you've had a chance to review our latest report from the past few months. So our numbers look good.
All right, thank you, sir. Okay, is there any update on the concealed carry?
I believe that's been defeated, at least until next year when they try to bring it up again. So we'll be ready.
All right, thank you. All right, by state.
Okay, well, good afternoon again. I will start with the operations report. As we've been reporting for the last couple of years, things continue to move forward in our recovery in terms of our operations. Since COVID, our workforce is stable for the most part. We have the operators and the call ride operators that we need. We are still in need of mechanics, and we're still having hiring events. We had hiring events this past weekend at our North County Transit Center, and we got a lot of applicants, a lot of bus operator applicants as usual, and I think a few mechanics. I don't have those exact stats right now, but I will forward them to you when I get them. But our workforce, other than that, is pretty stable. Our ridership trends are continuing to go up, not exponentially, but we continue to regain ridership as our system becomes more stable and reliable and our frequencies increase. And again, we are focusing most of all on reliability and frequency at this time. We have another service change scheduled for June 16th. Which is next week. And again, I think there were 16 routes that are being impacted, but basically based on feedback from our customers and our operators, things that we need to tweak and make better going forward. And of course, Call Ride continues to improve. Our demand for Call Ride continues to increase. We're giving over 8,000 rides a week now. Our difficulties with Call Ride at this point have to do with our equipment, the availability of vans, and the availability of mechanics to keep vans moving. But we continue to focus on improving that effort. Unless there are any questions for me, I would like to use the rest of my time to allow you to meet Ron Forrest, let him give you some of his background. And he's been here long enough and he's met everybody. He probably knows exactly what he wants to accomplish in the future. So Ron, please take it on.
All right. Well, good afternoon, you guys. Again, I appreciate being here. Just a little bit about myself for you all who don't know. I recently come from Minneapolis, Minnesota. I was the Deputy Chief Operations Officer there, and I oversaw both bus and rail transportation. I've been in the industry for almost 26 years, and I started my career off as an operator, a bus operator. Worked my way up, and I performed just about every function in operations. So, you know, I'm able to understand where people are in their career trajectory, and I'm able to relate to the things that they're going through. So, yeah, I've been at a few properties. I started my career in Southern California on the bus side. Then I moved to Atlanta on the rail side, and then I went to the Bay Area, the mecca of transportation is what we like to call it. And I oversaw the service out there. So pretty long history in operations. In fact, all of my experience is in operations. I've been a part of some pretty significant project teams. I saw a couple of large light rail vehicle procurements and hybrid bus procurements. So I had a chance to participate in those. Also been a part of some rail expansion projects. So yeah, that's my background. I was born in St. Louis. I was raised in Los Angeles. I spent a little over 9 years in the Marine Corps. And shortly after getting out is when I started my transit career. So yeah, that's me. And so I'm happy to be home. Happy to be home. It's like I've come full circle.
Well, you know, if you was born in St. Louis, what high school did you go to, or you went to school in California? Huh?
I went to school in California. Yeah.
Okay, that's okay. You don't have to form an allegiance in St. Louis then.
Well, I mean, my family's out here. You know, most of my family is here in St. Louis.
Okay. Welcome aboard. Glad to have you.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Okay. What about the tornado? How effective were we, not only in the operations, but also in the any damage or anything? I know one of the things I heard was basically had something to do with the some gates not opening because of the tornado or in an emergency. So what was the damage, or what was the outcome of that?
So I'll let Kevin handle the gates not opening with that kind of situation. But we did, so we kind of approached the tornado in 3 different layers. The first layer was basically restoring our system, and we did have vehicles damaged and facilities damaged and power outages and those kind of things. But pretty much by that following Tuesday, Metrolink was back in full service, and our system was back to normal operations, unless there was something in the community that kept us from servicing certain areas. But we got back in service relatively quickly. The other phase, the other level of our recovery had to do with our employees. We had employees that were impacted by the tornado, some in terms of being able to come to work. So we facilitated those activities to the best of our ability. We have a fund here at Bi-State for employees, a hardship type fund, and we made those funds available to people that needed those. So at this point, we've also able to get our staffing back up, and We're back in business as it relates to that. And the third level is our contributions to the community. We were called upon by the city of St. Louis to provide services to people that have been impacted by the tornado, providing them access from their homes to the shelter facilities and that type of thing. So we've stepped up to do all the things that we felt that we were capable of doing, not only in terms of our service levels and getting back up to speed in terms of service, but also assisting with community efforts to the best of our ability.
Thank you, sir. Okay, well, I guess that runs right into security. And Kevin?
Sure. So I'll address the gates during the tornado. There was no functionality issues with the gates at all during the tornado. The only two locations that were affected were obviously Forest Park and Del Mar because there was complete regional power outages. So in a case where we would completely lose power, the gates lock open. All right. Also during the tornado, as you're aware, the first 11 platforms are completed. We don't have the new ticket validators in yet, so the security teams are staffing those gates in order to bridge the gap between unlocking the gate and the validators. So in a severe weather occurrence like that, obviously we have to move our staff to safety. They just can't stay out there. So in that particular event, we lock the gates up, and we can control all the gates, obviously on scene and or from our real-time camera center. So as soon as the weather pattern cleared, we were able to restaff all of those gates and resume normal operation, except for Forest Park and Del Mar, where we had the significant power outage. So that really covers the tornado issue.
Good.
As far as the overall project itself, we have 11 platforms completed, as I suggested. We have one of the largest components of the SPP project, obviously, is the new fare collection system, the new ticket vending machines and validation systems. We're hoping to begin testing and implementation of the new validation systems late summer. In the meantime, those first 11 platforms are operating in an interim mode of operation, meaning you walk up to the gates are completely locked. They are 110% security impactful, but there is a security officer assigned to the gate. So when the security officer checks the fare, they use our internal proxy card system to release the gate, okay, for you to let you in. And that's how we'll have to continue to operate those first 11 platforms until we have integration with the new fare technology system. Right now, as it pertains to Missouri, the platforms that have been completed in Missouri are Del Mar, Forest Park, Central West End, Cortex, Grand Union Station, and Civic Center. And the following platforms are currently under construction in Missouri: North Hanley, Rock Road, Wellston, Umsel South, and Richmond Heights. Cosney Wagner is the contractor on the Missouri side for phase 3, or the remaining Missouri stations. In Illinois, Millstone Weber continues work on the project over there. And we have East Riverfront, Belleville, 5th and Missouri, East Riverfront, Belleville, 5th and Missouri, and Fairview Heights are all currently under construction in Illinois. And that is in addition to the platforms in Illinois that have already been completed: Emerson Park, Jackie Joyner Kersey, Washington Park, and College. So that's where we continue to sit. Again, this project includes the gating, the fencing, the reconfiguration and upgrade of our closed circuit television system, tied into our real-time camera center for 24 hours a day viewing, 365 days a year. And this project will realize additional cameras across the system, not only on MetroLink, but cameras on the LRVs themselves, the light rail vehicles, on our buses. And now we have the capacity, the capability to actually live feed in to these new cameras. Lastly, and one of the major components again of the secured platform plan, is the integration of the fare technology. And I know Mr. Curran's on the call, so I would like to acquiesce and have him step in to brief you on that part of the project, if that's okay.
Yes, sir. Kim, did you mention UMSL North? I heard UMSL
Yeah,
South.
it's UMSL South. UMSL North, we're working out some variances with the university, so that should move along quickly, but UMSL South is under construction now.
All right, thank you.
So there's two components to the fare collection system that bear on the SPP project. Number one is the Mesabi validators. Those are the validators that are going to be in front of each Metrolink gate. They will be installed later this summer. And when valid fare is presented to those validators, then they will unlock the security gates. The other component that bears on SPP is the ticket vending machines. They are currently being produced by Indra. Actually, today is the first day of official first article testing. That's out in Santa Ana, California at the fabrication facility, which is FabCon. Those tests will run all this week. And further tests will run throughout the summer. The manufacturing of 125 new TVMs will start immediately. And then we will do the installations of those TVMs later this year, probably in late fall or winter. So the TVMs are the last component to be added to the fare collection system that will enable the SPP project to be activated. And we're doing everything that we can to move that project forward from a manufacturing standpoint. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Any questions at this time? All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Finance. Do we have an update or any update on the 2026 budget?
Vicky? Are you
Victoria?
going to provide an update on finance?
Is she muted? She might be muted.
I am. I'm sorry. I was trying to
Okay,
find
good.
my meeting again. I was kind of looking at some of my other variances to talk more about the financial statements. I can't really speak as far as you're questioning the budget approval. Tammy would really need to speak to that, but I can let her know that you asked that question and make sure that she gets back with you when she gets back next week.
And I guess we also should put on hold the some understanding of the 1972 half-cent sales tax in terms of some of the wording in the budget in the ballot language, and whatever history she can give us or background she can give us in how it's functioned, how are the funds expended, just general information to give us a better understanding of the sales tax and the distribution and expenditures of the sales tax. And in the future months, we would also like to do it on Prop M and Prop A, just to put some meat behind the label. Right now we hear 73 half-cents budget or half-cents sales tax. Then we hear Prop M is a quarter cent and Prop A is a half-cent. But give us a little more detail. If you can pass that on to her and let her know that these are some of the things we're looking for.
Okay, so you said the 1972 1/2-cent sales tax and the Prop M and Prop A?
Yeah, 73 1/2 cent sales tax.
1973. Okay.
Yeah.
I can sure do that. And then the status of the budget
Yeah, and the status of the budget.
approval. Okay.
Okay.
So in terms of the budget, I guess you know that it is before the county council for approval. And the latest update I have, which I have to go to the meeting tomorrow night, it's still under perfection, bill number 113. So
That's correct.
okay, so I don't know exactly what the next steps are after that. Oh, Chris.
Oh, I'm Chris.
Okay. All right. So Chris,
Can you all
kind of
hear me?
give us an overview?
Yeah, we can hear you. We can hear you.
Yeah, so a couple things. I was going to pull this up for y'all. So yeah, you were talking about the sales taxes. So I'll just give you this piece of information. So the 1973 half-cent sales tax pulls in $99 million a year. Prop M pulls in about $50 million a year. Prop A, I'll find it. Give me just 1 second. Prop A pulls in about between 100 and 110 million dollars a year. So that gives you just some of the revenue estimates. The reason I tell you that is, so part of the conversation before the county council was the whole split. You all had passed a 50-50 split. County executive has asked for a different split. So the bill that's before the council is the county executive's request.
Ooh, well, we weren't, I guess we were not aware as a commission, we were not aware of the county executive split. And I guess we were under the impression that at least our split or our recommendation would have, these came back to us and said it was revised. And we have not heard that.
Yeah, so I can't speak to that particular part of the process. What I can tell you is the council got your resolution. At the same time, the county executive sent down a letter arguing for a different split. The bill that came down was from the county executive, which has a different split, reflects his split, which I think is 3466 split. Is what came down in his. So that's what's before the council. I don't have, as of today, I don't have a sense of exactly where they are in terms of which split they want to go with. There hasn't been a request for a substitute bill that I'm aware of yet. I believe that I heard this anecdotally, so don't run to it, but I believe the chairwoman would like to reach out to some of you. So, Mr. James, you may get a call from the chairwoman wanting to talk to the commission or set up a meeting at some point. I don't know that for a fact. That had been some discussion kind of in the hallway kind of a thing. I don't expect I haven't heard from any of the council members, nor have any of them asked me for some other number other than what Bi-State has asked for. So I don't think the debate, if there is one, is over the 200 million. I think it's just over how the how the funding formula, if you will, between the three funds is put together.
Yeah, I know our resolution or our request to the council was the 200 million was not a problem. It was basically the split between transportation and public works.
That's correct.
And that was that was our 50-50%, and that's what the board voted on.
Correct. And the council got that information.
Okay, let me ask you this, and then not Linda, but Kim, you have a question, and let me ask this question, and then you can propose yours. If it's passed by let's say that the county exec motion passes by the council, is there a way down the road that we can revise that this year, or we have to wait until next year to do any type of revision to that?
So you can amend a spending bill, although I don't think it's ever been done that way. I don't think we've ever gone back. We've done supplemental appropriations. We've never clawed back money that I'm aware of. And we haven't changed the funding mechanisms to that. Now, we could theoretically, so let's say, I think it's, and don't quote me on these numbers, but I think that with the county executive's recommended split, you're talking about $150 million out of Prop A-ish, give or take, right? And so now let's say you want to go back to the 50-50 split. And so now what they would probably try to do is figure out how to transfer funds of what's already been spent back into Prop A, if that's what they choose to do. The other thing that has been done in the past, you could talk to the council about doing, is we had now, I don't want the bi-state people to get mad at me, but it has been done before where the council says, okay, we're going to appropriate half of your appropriation. So let's say you get $100 million from now through December, and then in December we'll meet again and give you the other 100 million and change for the second half of the year. That makes bi-state's life very difficult to do that because they're counting on an appropriation for a whole year.
Right.
That was done, I believe, once before 5-6 years ago. I'm not recommending that course of action. I'm just telling you things that have been done and are possible.
Kim,
I'd
do you
like
have a
to
question?
speak to the transportation side when you find it appropriate.
I think this Kim has a question first, and then you can speak to that.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ed. I just wanted to let you know I did attend the county council meeting last Tuesday night, and Chairwoman Days held over HB 113, and her commentary during the meeting is that she wanted to hear from the commission, and Ed, you as chair, she directed the staff to set that meeting up. So I would have assumed that you would have already heard, but if you haven't, I'm assuming you'll hear in short order from them. That was at the direction at the county council meeting last Tuesday evening.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah, Maria Thomas is her assistant, probably should be reaching out to you.
Okay. Spectre, you have something you wanted to add to that?
That was Joe Colessa.
I'm sorry, Joe.
Yeah, no, so I just wanted to explain the merit of allowing the split to tend towards the transportation side. The funding really is imperative for us to provide the last mile for the residents. The sidewalks, keeping the roads in good shape, so your buses can travel those. Part of our plan with the extra money from, the split was to implement countywide what we call Operation Smart Street, which would provide bus priority at all the signals throughout the county, just as another example. It's a fairly expensive project. But Prop A can be spent in a lot of ways. It's flexible. Where the only thing we really have for our funding is the 1973 half-cent sales tax. And when you talk about it being hard over a year, to split an appropriation, we're trying to plan projects that take 3, 4, 5 years to bring to inception.
Yeah.
So we are short literally tens of millions annually to maintain our streets, to maintain the infrastructure that's necessary to run the buses.
Yeah,
for pedestrians to get where they need to go safely.
Joe, I'm not trying to cut you off, but that's more of an argument or discussion that you should have with the county council.
I'm bringing it to you because I think it's relevant. The argument you want to bring to council, you should know the counterpoint.
Well, we have heard the counterpoint. I think Ms. Streeter was attending one of our meetings, and she basically laid out the same discussion that you did. But again, this commission felt that in order for us to provide public transportation to all of St. Louis County, that the split that we sent to the county council was adequate enough to at least cover those expenditures. So, I mean, if we go before the county council, I think your position would be valid, and hopefully our position would be equally valid. So we just got to see where it goes on that. But thanks for that input. And like I said, it's your discussion is basically we heard it and we understand it, but we also looking at it from a different viewpoint in that we are a public transportation commission, and we have to look and see what is best public transportation available to people in St. Louis County. So let's just see where it goes. But I understand your position, and I hope that you understand ours.
Well, I do understand. My argument is largely that the pedestrian network is just as important as the buses.
Right. And like I said, I think we both have valid argument. And the thing about it is, let's just see where it goes. If this was a public transportation commission, strictly public transportation, and looking at some of the wording, you can't get a true ballot language on the 73 tax. But some of the stuff that I read on it basically was leaning towards transportation. So we just have to see where the split is, what is good for both transportation and public works. I understand yours. If you don't have the sidewalks in the streets, you don't have the buses. But if we don't have the buses, why do you need why do you need the streets and stuff? There's still areas in St. Louis County that is, I'm not going to say transportation poor, but it's still lacking a lot of adequate public transportation for people to get back and forth. So I just think, let's see where it goes. And that's one of the reasons why we put on the agenda for this month the 1973 sales tax, so more of the commissioners can understand what that language is and what that tax was for. And let's see where we are going forward. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Other questions for me?
Any other questions on the finance side? And Victoria, we hope that you can get that information to Tammy and we can start those discussions. Should have started them early, but now is a good time to start.
Okay, and I can definitely do that. So did you guys not want to discuss the April financials at all, or?
Yes, you can go ahead. I'm
Okay.
sorry.
Okay, that's fine. I'm looking mainly at year to date because that seems to be like a better target to hit. And basically our revenues are down $10 million year to date. You can look and see the different fundings, but basically I'm attributing this to $6.9 million in interest income and about $1.9 million in our passenger revenue, which is about 8.8 million of that $10 million. I wanted to go over actually our expenses are favorable to budget, and the casualty insurance is obviously, that's self-explanatory. That's our $1.7 million attributed to casualty claims is down. The other expenses below budget, $1.2 million, which is attributed to training that we have not done. And the interest expenses below budget, $1.1 million, which is attributed to the different interest rates on loans. If you skip to the balance sheet, the one thing of note that I wanted to talk about is cash was down $3 million, but we also made a $4 million payment for the interest in April. So that's a big part of that. One more other thing, I'm sorry, going back to the capital assets, we did increase our paratransit vans by $3 million in assets. So I don't know if anybody has any other questions for me.
I guess I have one, and I guess it's involved you and Kevin. Kevin, be probably about the first of the year where we can start getting some firm numbers on ridership, fares from ridership, or revenue from ridership.
So the simple answer is when the fare collection system is online and all of the system is gated uniformly, I think we can get a better grip on what that looks like. We have seen at certain areas that have been gated, some of the initial areas where we've seen an increase of TVM use. So it's trending in a positive direction. There's no way to really quantify it at this juncture until the entire system is done, I don't believe.
All right. Thank you very much. Any other questions of finance?
Yes, I had one question, Ed. Victoria, why is the St. Louis County revenues running 5.6 million below budget?
So I really need, I'm sorry, but I really need Tammy to talk about that.
Okay.
I mean, you know, as far as, I mean, we're just reporting it as we receive it. So, and I'm sure she has an answer for that. I apologize for not studying up with her before she left.
Okay. If we can get that next month, that'd be great.
Yeah,
And
that's
that,
what I was going. I was going to ask you, could you just drop me a note and I'll make sure we get it on the agenda as a separate item that would include it in their report, but also a separate line item.
oh, sure. And Kim, that was on the St. Louis City, correct?
County.
County.
It
Okay.
shows the county running 5.9 million below budget, and I'm just curious why that is.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions of finance? Okay. Marketing.
Before, I think Missy's going to give that report, is that correct? Missy, are you, well, before you do that,
Missy's
before
giving-
you have
yeah.
your marketing report, Kevin, could you explain, can you give the commission an overview of the change in your role and responsibilities and how that includes marketing going forward?
Sure. So our leadership made some substantial changes relative to our internal efficiencies and our structure. So our marketing so my role got elevated to executive vice president. So I still specifically have security and the gating project. But in addition to that, what you've always known as marketing and communications has been moved under my area of function. And there have been some personnel changes relative to that function, that marketing and communications function. There are some familiar faces that are no longer in the organization. And so we've made some identifications on who will step up and fill some of those roles. So Melissa Webb, who you're all familiar with, was moved over as from the Director of Security Communications to the broader Director of Communications for Bi-State. So she will lead a team of 10 individuals to include Jerry Valet and some other individuals that you may be familiar with. So going forward, she will have the responsibility of providing you with the communications update. We are rebranding our marketing and communications role to more of a public affairs role, and that's how we'll be rebranded in the future. But the emphasis on communication will be paramount moving forward, making sure that we're effectively engaging both our internal and external customers. I will continue then to show on the meeting and provide any security updates that you require. Vernon Summers is the Director of Security. Melissa Webb is the Director of Communications, and that's how we're postured at this juncture.
Okay. Based on that, I guess going forward, on the agenda, should we put security/marketing or just security, or how should it be worded?
No, you can leave it the same. I'll handle the security side. I'll handle any security issues on the agenda, and Melissa will handle any communication issues on the agenda. Questions?
So
We'll still be able to, Mr. Chairman, we'll still provide a level of the same report from a marketing and communication standpoint that the commission gets now.
Okay, so I guess based on what you're just saying, we should change it from marketing to communications.
I think that's fair, yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Okay.
Melissa, you want to go ahead?
Thank you very much, Kevin. Thank you, Chairman. So with that transition that we're going through, I want you all to know that those 10 individuals that are within communication are poised to continue the mission forward. We are trying to and doing our best, and they're doing a great job of not allowing anyone to see any hiccups on the outside. So with that being said, if there's any changes that you would like to see with the report going forward, please don't hesitate to reach out to me so that we can adjust that to whatever it is that you might need. The previous agenda had some points that I'm going to cover, one of which is upcoming events. So excited, the June 18th is No Red Day, and we are going to partner with our CMT partners. You'll start to see that message more and more. We want to make sure that our relationship with the Citizens for Modern Transit is strong moving forward. June 16th, you're also going to see some service change. We've already announced those. Those will only affect our Metro bus routes. There will be no changes to our Metro Link or Metro Call Ride. We did have a hiring event last week, super successful. Another one is scheduled for July the 26th. I know that there was also the story of the bench was placed on the agenda, and I believe you all received that story. Another phenomenal collaborative initiative from our Citizens of Modern Transit and AARP. So if you'd like further information about that initiative, I would love to give that to you, or I can get you in contact with the Citizens for Modern Transit. I do know that the first 2 benches have been installed, and there's several to come. So with that, that's all I have for the commission today. Is there anything that you all would like to ask or have questions about?
Yeah, it was just one question that we had last month, and we was talking about the adopt a stop. And I think the number that was given to us was basically the total number for the whole metro. And I guess what we were looking for is something just for St. Louis County. So if you can just get an estimate of that, we appreciate it.
Absolutely. I'll get that for you right away, sir.
All right, thank you. Any other questions for communications, not marketing, communications? Okay. Old business, there's none. New business, I think I mentioned earlier, we would like to, in future meetings, go over Prop M and Prop A, just basically as much background as we can get on it, give us a firm understanding of what these 2 sales tax initiatives are, and how the balance in the account, and how are these accounts being spent, or what are the revenues going to. So hope I'm making myself clear. We just want to know basic information about it. M and A. At this time, we would like to thank Mr. Stewart for his dedication, good work, and attentive to all of our needs, at least mine for the last, year and a half or so. And one thing I can say, if I call, he always return a call. And I said, damn, did it go through? And by the time I say, did it go through, he's calling me. So thank you very much for your dedication to Bi-State and all of your other activities through the years. And I know hopefully we will be seeing you and hear from you in the future. And if you have some final words, we would like to hear them now, or just say bye.
Well, I thank you very much for that opportunity, and it's certainly been a pleasure for me to be a part of reporting to this commission and a part of the good work that you are doing for St. Louis County. We've gone through a lot in the last couple of years here at Bi-State. We've seen our way through a lot of challenges, both man-made and otherwise. And I think we've come out of it a better company on the other side. And I think we've put leadership in place so that we can continue on that trajectory. So I think this is a good time for me to bow out. I'm passing the baton to, I think, a very capable person as we move forward. So I wish not only the Bi-State team, but this commission and St. Louis County all the best in the future. And I will be around.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Before we adjourn the meeting, we received some bad news this morning that Linda Camp passed away this morning. We have no details. Her daughter called and informed us of her mother's passing. So at this time, we have no details of or dates of service or anything, but those of us who met Linda on the screen once a month, I can say from my personal, she was very pleasant to work with, very educated, was very up on the issues that we needed on this commission, and she's going to be missed. I mean, like I said, I just met her on a screen, but I tell you, she was a good lady. So once we get any additional information, we will try to filter it down to each of the commission members and let you know whenever we find out something, we will pass it on. I guess at this time, the next meeting will be July 14th, 2025. Same time, same square on the computer. But thanks everyone for being attentive and being here today. Do I have a motion for adjournment?
McKelvey, so moved.
Do I have a second?
Okay. Second.
Move properly second. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 All those opposed? Ayes have it. Meeting's adjourned. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, Chuck.
Thank you.
Thanks.